Welcome to this week's vlog. I know the weather across the country will still be creating huge cause for concern. We've still got less than 20% of our wheat planted, and I don't know when the next drilling opportunity will come around. Behind me you see a cover crop drilled after maize. I just wish the wheat we have drilled looked the same. I want to reflect on the lamb market, which has been creating huge cause for concern for the Livestock Board and our members. This differential pricing which has occurred between the blue trunk control zone and those outside the control zone is simply unacceptable. The control zone is there through no fault of any member within that control zone, and it's there to protect the whole of the industry. For them to now be receiving or being offered less for their lamb by certain processors is simply not acceptable. I've raised this at the top level of those processors involved, and I sincerely hope that this differential pricing will not continue, because it simply is not acceptable. Last week in the House of Lords there was a debate on flooding, and Baroness Hayman had the following to say.
So just to come to some of the questions around this, I was asked by a number of noble lords about the Farming Recovery Fund, about payments going forward from last winter and from spring this year. And we are acutely aware of the challenges that farmers have been facing from this flooding. All farmers who are eligible for the initial Farm Recovery Fund that was set up in April have now been offered a payment. Unfortunately, further commitments around spending and rolling out of schemes is unfortunately down to the spending review. I'm sure you'll be hearing this an awful lot. I think we'll all be very glad when it's happened and we know where we are on everything. But I really appreciate the concerns that noble lords have made, including the Right Reverend Prelate, about the fact that this is an urgent issue, and we do need to let people know what's what as soon as we can.
We've just had our live event on SFI, and we had over 500 members join. 43 questions asked in the hour, over 100 questions submitted. Great interest, but also a huge amount of frustration. It was very clear, the underspending of the budget, the questions over the budget itself, at a time when farming is under such pressure, is really concerning for members. And they're frustrated. They're frustrated about the slow rollout. They're frustrated about some of the options of the delivery. They're frustrated about their ability to move from legacy schemes. We just did not get enough answers. We know why that is, but we made it very clear that the answers need to come as quickly as possible. We cannot just carry on waiting for the budget to be the answer to all our problems. The only way the department, Defra, will deliver their ambitions is to work with farmers. SFI is their main tool for working and supporting farmers. It needs to work better. That was clear from today.
Later on today, I'm heading to the Food and Drink Sector Council, which brings together the whole of the food industry. When we talk about food security as part of national security, the whole food sector has a responsibility to make sure that we're looking at the challenges within that supply chain and making sure there's fair and equitable returns for all. It'll be very interesting to hear just how involved the Minister wants to be with the Food and Drink Sector Council moving forwards, and where he sees the priorities for the FDSC. I'll update you on this next week. Thank you very much for listening. I do hope that we get an opportunity to continue some autumn drilling, and I look forward to updating you next week.